This guide will be collecting all of the manuscripts found through the side quests, fiends, VR challenges, and bosses. I will also be showing the full boss fight for every boss encounter so that you can see exactly what I do in every situation to help you defeat the boss easier. Here are some important things to know before starting hard mode. Go into your system and you'll see a new extra setting option. In this setting, we can change the tactical slowdown if we want, but I'm going to keep it at 6. I recommend turning on materials auto collection and skip Zack's story. Once you start the main game, you will now be able to enter changing boosts found in every region. You can typically find them on the region's farm or certain towns. The only way to heal MP outside of combat in hard mode is to use a chocobo rest stop. Remember that you can use abilities like Soothing Breeze. It costs no MP to heal your entire party because it's an enemy skill, and it only costs 1 ATB instead of 2 ATB like Prayer does. If you use this ability wisely, then you can get your party back to full HP, or close to that if you're struggling with hard mode. Another cheap but effective way to heal your HP in combat without using magic is chakra. If you want more healing power, you can put healing Karkanet on your healers. Abilities like Soothing Breeze, chakra, and prayer will heal you for 30% more HP, and as will healing magic. This can actually be quite powerful, especially for your ability healing, since it costs no MP to cast abilities. For the most part, we are going to focus on defeating bosses as easily as possible by exploiting weaknesses and using Yuffie's Brumo form and Aerith's ATB ward whenever we can to generate ATB quickly for the party. To do this, make sure Yuffie is equipped with the Speed Demon's keychain and she has haste casted on her. You'll also want to start farming for the Genji gloves as soon as possible, which I will explain in chapter 2. If you want to skip ahead to unlock the Genji gloves now, then skip to chapter 2 and defeat the Quetzalcoatl, and then go to chapter 10 and defeat the Great Malboro. Let's now get started with chapter 1 of hard mode. Okay guys, so here we go with the boss fight here. Make sure you counter that or block it with your parry timing, and then we're gonna switch to Sephiroth here. So Sephiroth, you want to get 5 attacks off, and then you just want to spam circle triangle so that we can constantly attack him, attack the boss, and get his limit break up. As you can see, Sephiroth is quickly building up his limit break. This is actually the best method for people in case people don't have very high materia or a high level at this point in the game, if you guys never did any training yet. With Cloud, we just simply are casting Fire Gun with him. So right now, we're skipping through this phase really quickly here. And you're gonna see that I kept Cloud with 2 ATB gauge. I wouldn't recommend actually using Fire Gun yet because the boss actually jumped down really quickly and I think he might have blocked that Fire Gun. If you have Swift Cast on, then that's okay. You should be able to get it off in time with Swift Cast. But you can see I did the limit break of Sephiroth here. Staggered him and quickly got my ATB gauge right back up. Now we're just gonna keep using Sephiroth's his special Purus. Okay, so the circle triangle, build up the limit break, and he should get his limit break right back up again. And also he has 2 full ATB gauge, so use Auto Slash in the next phase coming up. Don't use it right away, just in case.
No holding back.
I'm excited.
Such puppy.
So the next phase is about to start right now, and actually I think what I'm gonna do here, what you should do is save the auto slash. You want to get Cloud with 1 more bar of ATB, so use Fyra, and this should put Cloud at 3 bars, which means we can now use synergy abilities. So the synergy ability is active, we're gonna use that, and the boss will come down. And now, once this animation here finishes, we can finish the boss off with Sephiroth's limit break. That's the best way to do it. And that will complete chapter 1 hard mode for you.
Keep up with this. I'm gonna pick it up. Get him! You're in good hands.
Now that we are starting the real part of the game, don't forget to check the item shop for new cards. We are going to defeat the Quetzalcoatl to get one of the pieces that we need for the Genji gloves. I was actually doing side quests in this region for the manuscripts and played right up to chapter 7 before coming back to defeat the Quetzalcoatl. So for this part of the guide, I'll be level 70. But for other parts of the guide in this chapter, I'll be around level 50 to 60. Before we defeat the Quetzalcoatl, if you still don't have the Genji equipment unlocked in your item transmission, then that means you didn't defeat Gilgamesh yet. Before watching this guide, I recommend that you first defeat Gilgamesh. In order to unlock Gilgamesh, you will need to first collect all of the proto relics found in every region, and then you will unlock him in chapter 13. Once you defeated Gilgamesh, you can now work towards getting the Genji gloves with me. When you're ready, teleport to this location to fight the Quetzalcoatl. Okay, so this guy is so easy, you're not even gonna need a equipment setup for this. So I'm gonna tell you just the basics. Basically, you're gonna have Cloud use Blizziga, you're gonna have Aerith use Blizziga on her arcane ward, and you're gonna have Tifa with Elemental and Ice equipped on her weapon. With Blizziga, this Fiend's weakness is Ice. We're gonna quickly be able to pressure it and get it staggered very, very fast. Because Tifa has Ice Elemental on her weapon, and Cloud and Aerith are just casting Blizziga on the arcane ward. Now the boss is already staggered, so you want to unleash all of Tifa's unbridled abilities, build up some more, and then you need to cast Stop with Cloud. And that's pretty much the entire setup that you need to know. With the Fiend now frozen solid because of Stop, we can continue using Tifa's unbridled strength abilities and do massive stagger damage. As you can see, the gauge is already at 400%. So one more Blizziga with Aerith will definitely do it, but I think I cast another Insurance with Cloud, even though that's not needed. It was just overkill. Once the Fiend has been defeated, you'll be rewarded with the Manuscript and the Sinister Quetzalcoatl. We are only missing one piece to make the Genji gloves, so skip to chapter 10 of this guide and defeat the Great Malboro if you want to acquire that piece now. First side quest that we are going to start is Flowers from the Hill. Once you've started the side quest, teleport to this location. Make sure your entire party has Quake on. Aerith and Cloud should have Quake Magnify, First Strike, and ATB boost. Cloud or Aerith can also be given a Choco King's Cape accessory. You will need to cast Quake-A to quickly defeat these fiends. Heal yourself with Curaga if needed. It might actually be better to have Aerith cast Arcane Ward so you can get 2 casts off with Quake-A, but there are so many fiends here that it might be hard to get it off in time without them spraying you to death.
It's your turn. I got this. Watch yourself. I'll show. Gotta dig deep for this one. One more shot. Ready? Gotta go for it now. Come on, let's finish it. Go on. Okay. You're up. I'll take care of them. Here it comes. This one's free. I'm in. Here it comes! Yoo-hoo!
Once the fiends are killed, finish the quest, and now we will do Livestock's Bane. For this quest, you will be having the Chocobo use its scent to find where the fiend is. Once you find the fiend, get ready to defeat it. I had Cloud and Aerith cast Quake-A. Aerith was also equipped with Comet and Synergy material linked up, and you can also give them ATB boost and First Strike. Barret will be your tank and support character. If you need any healing, have him use Curaga on whoever is injured, or Curaga Magnify if more than one party member needs healing. You should be able to stagger the fiend quick with Quake-A. You can also have Aerith cast an Arcane Ward so that you can double cast Quake-A to make the battle go by faster.
You had your chance. Keep it up.
I can help too. One more shot. Tagging out. Okay. Go on.
Now this is fun! For the great Gilgamesh!
Keep it together.
So it's my turn? This one's for you! One more shot!
Need my help, do you? Don't stop!
Watch this.
This one's for you!
Don't overdo it.
Here goes!
It's on you.
I'll show you what I can do. One more shot! It's your turn.
Yeah, I'll do it. Gotta hold
Once you've defeated the Fiend, finish the quest and start the Lifeline in Pearl quest. At some point during this quest, you'll need to fight the 2 Noxie Cat Fiends to acquire the Manuscript. Have Cloud cast Firaga and Aerith cast Quake'a. Barret will be your support, so use him for healing the party with Kiraga when needed. You don't even need to place down an Arcane Ward or use Magnify if you attack the Fiends while they are close together. You do more damage without using Magnify, and you can still hit multiple Fiends at once if the AoE effect is able to reach the Fiends. But if you're struggling here, then feel free to use an Arcane Ward and/or use Magnify to make the fight easier. Once the Fiends are defeated, we can now progress the story until we fight the boss. You want to have Aerith place her Arcane Ward on the ground. I use Blizzara and Blizzaga to deal damage to the boss. Try to use magic on top of Aerith's ward so that you get a double cast and deal more damage.
Can you take over for me? You're up!
It's on you.
It's your turn!
Hang back. Keep it together.
You're up! I'll take care of him! Sorry about that.
Once the boss is pressured, attack the boss's cranial dome weak spot to quickly fill the pressure gauge and stagger it. Once the boss is staggered, try to push the boss into phase 2.
I'll put down on big frost!
Enough.
Handle them? Gotta go for it now.
Take him down.
Seizing the opening.
Take it easy.
Let's go. Here it comes. This one's for you. Sure. However I can. One more shot. Just taking a little break. Back to business. Time to end this. That's it!
Get back.
You should have poison warding materia equipped to protect yourself from poison here. Keep casting Blizzara on the Arcane Ward and also keep attacking the boss's cranial dome. You should be able to quickly pressure the boss and stagger it again. Try to deal enough damage with Tifa to finish the boss off when it's staggered. But if you don't, it should be weak enough that It won't take much more magic attacks to finish it off.
Let's go!
Okay, let's go. Good luck. Here goes. That'll do. Go on.
Let's do this. Take the lead.
It's on you. I should probably heal up first.
Calling ice.
You're still doing it.
It's on you.
Let me handle this.
I got this.
Freeze!
Shit.
Oh, shit! Don't overdo it.
It's gonna cook us alive.
This asshole.
Finish him off. Let's go. Come on, team.
Leave it to me.
Another. Go on.
Keep it together.
Okay, let's go. Bring it. Ha.
Copy.
I'll take care of them. You okay? Tagging out.
Here we go. Take the lead.
Let me handle this. Watch yourself. Here goes. It's your turn.
My
Hoopla.
turn.
Feel
Keep it together.
I got it.
Run low.
Keep it up.
Now that we are in chapter 3, continue the story until you need to fight Elena and Rude. Alright, Rude is going to be weak to wind, and Elena is going to be weak to lightning. You want to try to focus on Elena first. Elena is very delicate, like she's very easy to stagger, and she'll flinch a lot. So you can get rid of her really quickly. Rude is much more tankier, but once you have a good opportunity, make sure you have Aerith cast her ward on the ground, and you want to try and either cast lightning spells on Elena or cast wind spells on Rude.
Incoming. You ready? Why don't you leave?
Let's do this. Keep it together. This.
Not bad.
Big fat.
Okay, so we have Elena staggered here, so this is going to be the perfect opportunity here to push these guys into phase 2 now. You want to basically unleash Tifa's unbridled strength abilities and deal with other damage you can with other characters. But Tifa's usually the best to use because she does so much damage when an enemy is staggered. And you can see they can quickly push them into phase 2.
Just like we practiced.
Gotcha. Go on. It's on you. Can you take over for me?
I got this.
So just try to remember to keep casting spells on top of Arcane Ward.
Let me out.
And you can see that we just pressured them right now. So while Root is pressured here, we're gonna make sure that we use Focus Thrust and whatever other abilities we can to get that pressure gauge into stagger. So now that Root is staggered, we'll continue to unleash a lot of damage on him. Just remember to use Tifa here. And also you can take this opportunity to finish Yelena off. That way you only have Root left.
So it's my turn?
My turn. That's it.
You good?
Step off.
You can see that it's so easy to get them pressured. Like I got Root pressured again so easily. And look at that, we just got him staggered again. So I'm just gonna use Finishing Touch while he's staggered here. It's gonna do a lot of damage. And then with Tifa, we'll just continue using her Unbridled Strength abilities. And we got Yelena staggered as well, so we should be able to finish them off right now. There we go. Now we can move on to the second boss fight with Barret. Alright, so this is the main materia that I had on for Red 13 and Barret. Mainly, I don't really show the purple that well because it's mainly just like HP materia, MP up, you know, First Strike, all that basic stuff. But you definitely want to make sure that you have enemy skill on Barret as well as lightning spells with MP absorption. Now for the boss fight. With Barret here, we're gonna start with bonus round. And then plasma discharge.
So that's where you're vulnerable.
I actually forgot to use ATB boost a lot. Because I was still very early into hard mode. I ended up getting a lot better at hard mode as we proceed further into the chapters.
Ready when you are.
But basically, you definitely want to use the lightning spell on his head. I chose to use, I think it was Thundaga. And then it pressures it really quickly. You can see the pressure gauge going up extremely fast while using Barret because of plasma discharge. So once the boss is staggered, we should be able to do enough damage here to send it into phase 2. Just go all out with Barret and Red 13. And now with phase 2 here, we're gonna start with Thundaga, and I chose to start on the head. I believe it should pressure it. Then we use Thundaga again. I chose the head again. I think I should have attacked maybe the arms, but then I just use Overfang. But you can see that it gets the boss pressured, so this is what we want, because we can send him into dagger really quickly. Also, you could have made this a little bit faster if I used the summon, but I didn't use the summon. So, if you guys want to use the summon to make it easier and faster, you can do that as well. Alright, so Red 13 said to aim for the head again, but I aimed for the spine. The spine is also his biggest weak point. As you can see, we staggered it really quickly. Now we're just going to use level 1, then a break with Barret here. And then we're just going to keep attacking it while it's staggered. And you can see it's already pretty close to dead, but this is a pretty tanky boss for only 2 party members. So I use Turbulent Spirit here. This is going to get his Barret's ATB gauge up really quickly. And it'll keep allowing us to do a lot of DPS with lightning spells. Or abilities. But I instead chose to heal myself here for some reason. I think I just wanted to be extra safe, I guess, but I should have just attacked the boss and started building up an ATB gauge at Barret, since I had the Turbulent Spirit. So I made a mistake here. Alright, now we're going to use Thunder God right on the head. This way we can get pressured. And we'll do the same thing with Red 13 as well. And we should have its spine as a target soon again. If you break his arms, you can do a lot of pressure gauge as well. So right now, we have a right arm as the only option. We're going to attack that. And look at that, we just already staggered it, because we broke the arm while it was pressured. So at this point here, you could actually finish it off, but I think I kept it, had a little bit of HP left, and then I finished it off with one more Thunder Rust spell. So after this attack here, I'm just going to do one more attack on the boss and I should finish it off. And that's the boss fight. So let's move on to Chapter 4 now. The first thing we're going to do in Chapter 4 is defeat the Mind Flayer to acquire its manuscript and a special item for making Genji earrings. This enemy should be really easy. Have Aerith cast her Arcane Ward, then have her cast ATB boost so that she gets 2 bars again. If you have the Choco King's cape on her, and you will be able to double cast Blizzaga. You can do the same thing with Cloud and Tifa, and the boss will build up his stagger really fast. And also, he will keep falling off balance from the powerful Blizzaga magic attacks. Once the boss is staggered, just keep unleashing Tifa's Unbridled Strength ability over and over, and have Cloud cast Stop so that the Flayer's stagger gauge stops dropping, which will allow you to get off more DPS. If you don't kill it in time, the Fiend will recover, so just repeat the steps again to kill it. If you find yourself getting low HP, top up with Kiraga, magnify with Cloud. You should be able to kill the Fiend fast enough by casting Blizzaga that you shouldn't get low HP. Once the Fiend is defeated, you will be rewarded with the manuscript and the Vile Mind Flayer's crown to make Genji earrings.
You're up. It's your turn.
Need to heal up.
Don't give up now, you guys. I believe in you.
Nice. After you.
Time to end this.
Take it easy.
Let's turn it up. One more.
Freeze.
Feeling chill bonus. Mind taking over? I'll take care of them. It's yours. We'll get through this. Take the lead. Tagging out.
All right.
Let me out. Go on.
Now you will need to progress the story and defeat the Terror of the Deep boss before you can unlock the manuscripts acquired from Chapter 4's quests. You want to make sure that Cloud is equipped with the Malboro Orb, the enhanced version, I believe. And you also want to make sure that he has Stop and Lightning MP Absorb, and you also want to make sure that your other characters have Lightning and MP Absorb. You're gonna have Aerith cast her ward as usual, and then you're gonna cast Thunderguard right on the ward. This is gonna pressure the boss and almost get it staggered with 2 casts of Thunderguard. Once Aerith has her ATB up again, you can have her cast Thunderguard as well. This is going to stagger the boss. If the boss ends up grabbing Cloud, it will drop Cloud or whatever other character it grabs. Now at this point, this is where we're gonna cast Stop with Cloud, because we have the enhanced Malboro Orb on his accessory. So with the boss frozen here, we're going to use Tifa's Unbridled Strength abilities and just keep unleashing a lot of damage. This is going to send the boss into phase 2. As you can see, the boss is almost dead. We can't do any more damage to the boss during this part right now because he's immune to damage, since we already hit the damage cap because we have to send the boss into phase 2.
What now? It's right under us.
Yeah, that one caught me off guard there. I thought it was still going through that cutscene, I think. Anyways. You're gonna teleport back to the ward here to have Aerith cast Thunderguard once you're able to. So just wait for the boss to appear so we can actually cast magic on it. While this is happening, I'm going to use a Rise to revive Tifa. And there, the boss is up.
Take the lead.
I'll show you what I can do.
So now we can use Thunderguard with Aerith.
You okay?
Just pressure the boss and staggered. So as you can see, it's a really easy boss to defeat. Now after the boss is defeated, continue until you start unlocking new side quests to complete. Interact with the board to select a side quest. We will first be completing the quest When Words Won't Do. We will need to escort and protect the dog that can be found at the entrance. You will encounter some weaker fiends that shouldn't be difficult to defeat, but at some point you will encounter the more powerful fiends near the end of the quest. Have Cloud equipped with Wind and Elemental linked up, and Aerith should have Wind and Synergy linked up, as well as Wind and MP Absorb. You can also add Wind HP Absorb to get health back if you're struggling. Make sure Cloud also has the Choco King's Cape equipped with First Strike materia. Have Cloud cast Aeroga at the start of battle, and then follow that up with Aerith's Arcane Ward immediately so you can double cast it. If you have Wind linked up with Magnify, it might be better because you are guaranteed to hit both flying enemies instead of one. But with this setup, it'll be easy enough to defeat these 2 flying creatures without much effort.
Take the lead.
All set. You're up. Here goes.
Storm coming.
Go on.
After they are defeated, you will now just keep following the dog until it reaches its destination and the quest will complete. After completing the quest, you will need to follow Toby to start the next quest, Heart of Shell. You will need to teleport to the abandoned lighthouse and speak to the merc found upstairs to continue the quest. Have Cloud equipped with Enhanced Psychic's Charm, Fire and Ice linked up to Elemental, Healing and Magnify linked up, and First Strike are the core materia for Cloud. Aerith should have Choco King's Cape, Fire Synergy linked up, First Strike, and Fire MP Absorb linked up as her core materia. Tifa can have anything you want. I just use her for dealing as much damage as possible during dagger phases. The slimes are all weak to fire, so cast Fire or Fire Out to kill them quickly using Aerith's Arcane Ward. The Ignilisks that spawn are weak to ice and can quickly be killed by Cloud's Triple Slash, so save your MP.
I saw you take that hit, you know. And they call you the pro.
Take the lead.
All set.
Lead a light.
There. That's it. So one more shot. So watch yourself. Can you take over for
I
me?
got this.
Calling fire. For a merc like you. This is another. Bring it. You're burning up. Go on. That's that.
Deal with that.
It's on you. I'll take care of them. That's it. Tagging out.
Taking over.
This is I won't let you down.
Once the white mouses spawn, this is the real battle. You will need to change elements to pressure and deal lots of damage to them. So try not to use the same element twice. If you get one pressured, use Cloud's Focus Thrust to fill up the stagger bar a lot more. Once the mouse is staggered, use all of Tifa's Unbridled Strength power-ups and then keep using Unbridled Strength and Omni Strike to build up the stagger bonus. You should be able to get 300% plus stagger bonus by the time it comes out of stagger. And you can quickly finish it off with a powerful spell cast. At first, I made the mistake of using the same spell twice, which isn't good for this boss fight. And that's why I wasn't maximizing DPS. So remember to cast a different spell after you use one spell. If you use Blizzara, cast Fire on next. You can cast 2 different spells while also in the Arcane Ward. I just completely forgot to do that. Once you defeat all of the enemies, you will be done the quest and you can rest up again.
Can you handle them?
Great.
These losers ought to be easy pickings for a merc like you.
Let's switch it up.
Go for it. Give him your all. This is gonna hurt. A bonus. Leave him in too, my loyal subordinate. Wish I could film this. It'd make for a great
Need to heal up. Pushing it.
I can still play. There.
Still up for it?
Right. Okay. The boss is getting bored. Why don't you lead the way?
All the time.
We'll get through this. Don't think we gotta switch it up. I'm coming. You'll see. Come on, get rid of those things already, would ya? I thought you were supposed to be the get him. Huh? I'm your friendly merc, so give me some work. You've got this. Don't give up. Bring it. Too bright. Yeah. Finish him off. No more games. It's over. Saw you take that hit, you know. And they call you the pro. This one's for you. Let's go. Mind taking over? Let me teach him a lesson. These losers ought to be easy pickings for a merc like you. Can you take over for me? I'll take over. Don't catch a cold.
Now we are going to head to Condor Hill to start the Dreaming of Blue Skies quest. You will need to battle the Mystic Dragon. Cloud should be equipped with Choco King's Cape, Wind MP Absorb linked up, First Strike, Enemy Skill, Heal plus Magnify, and Time. Aerith should have Wind Synergy linked up, Wind MP Absorb, First Strike, and Enhanced Psychic's Charm. It is weak to arrow, so cast Arrow Gun with Cloud and have Aerith place her ward on the ground. Tifa will simply be your DPS for when the Fiend is staggered.
One more shot. You've got this.
Hang back.
Watch out for her wind. Another.
It's on you.
All good to go.
On it.
You can do it.
Now's our chance. You're telling me.
Here, bonus. Here he comes. There, our shot. Gotta get with that.
When the Fiend is defeated, take the bovine meat and teleport back to complete the quest. Next, head back to Underjunian and complete the Calling All Frogs quest. For this quest, you will need to battle Aztolls. Hold the square button to pull enemies to you and then leap frog them to deal a lot of damage. Make sure you have First Strike materia and Choco King's accessory on your characters. Try to save some ATB for when the frogs are staggered, so that you can deal more damage with your frog ability. After the battle, you will need to play one game of Jump Frog to complete the quest.
What do you think? It's pretty.
I've played worse.
These are all the quests that we need to complete for Chapter 4. Now proceed with the story. The next manuscript will be acquired once you defeat Roach at the end of Chapter 4. Equip Cloud with Choco King's Cape, Fire MP Absorb, Fire Elemental linked up, Enemy Skill HP Absorb, Subversion, and First Strike. Start the boss fight by casting Sonic Boom to boost both your strength and magic stats with Bravery and Faith, and then keep attacking Roach to build up ATB, and then cast Dispel to remove Reflect that he cast upon himself. Keep building up your ATB and dodging or parrying/blocking the boss's attacks until you get 2 full bars to cast 1 fire item. If you have Ganji gloves at this point in the game, you'll hit more than 9,999 damage on this boss. Otherwise, you should just hit 9,999 damage like I did. Once the boss is staggered, keep building up your ATB and attacking it until the next phase starts. In phase 2 of the fight, you'll want to do the same thing. One cast of Fire Gale will almost have the boss completely staggered, and then you should be able to use Focus Stress to completely stagger it and finish the boss off. Once you defeat Roach, you'll be rewarded with the final manuscript for Chapter 4, and you can now move on to Chapter 5.
No escape. Yes. Here we go. See ya. Time to burn.
I see you've still got it.
Once you make it to this part of the story, I would recommend forfeiting the tournament so that you can skip having to play through the entire tournament. Unless you haven't won the tournament yet during your normal playthrough and want to replay it to win it this time. The main equipment that I had on for Cloud is Enhanced Psychic's Charm accessory, Time Magnify linked up, Fire and Ice Elemental linked up on his weapon, ATB Stagger, Enemy Skill, HP Absorb linked up, First Strike, Steadfast Block, and Revival. For Tifa, I had Enhanced XP Dictionary Medal, Subversion, Strength Up, Level Boost linked up, Revival, ATB Stagger, Steadfast Block, Luck Up ×2, Chakra, and ATB Boost. For Barret, I had Ribbon, Ice Elemental linked up on his weapon, Steadfast Block, Revival, Chakra, Vitality Up, Attack Attack Switch materia, and for extra materia you can add on like HP or MP materia for your characters, and whatever other materia that you want. I'm gonna attack here, get my ATB and get some ATB, and I'm just gonna cast Haste. I had the Magnify effect, so I'll cast Haste on everybody. With Baird here, we're gonna cast Blizzago. We should be able to get this boss pressured fairly quickly. Now, because I also have time on Cloud, that means that we can also stop the boss because he is weak to stop. So we can actually stop the boss a total of 2 times. Now, you can either do this in the first and second phase, or you can wait until the second and third phase to do it. I chose to do it in the first phase to rush to phase 2, but it might be better to save it for the second and third phase, that way you can just finish the boss off really quickly, since the first phase is not really that difficult. But if you want to follow exactly what I did, I used stop on the first phase here, and then I just kept spamming Tifa's Unbridled Strength abilities to knock this boss into phase 2. So as you can see, we just knocked it into phase 2 right now because we can't do any more damage to it. It has that immunity phase right now. It shouldn't be too hard to get this boss pressured. Once you get it pressured, you can get it staggered really quickly. Now with Barret, I just used Turbulent Spirit. Remember, he gets his ATB gauge up super fast when you do this. And we're gonna cast Blizzaga. And then I guess I'm just gonna cast a Synergy ability here. There we go, we got the boss pressured. So, it shouldn't take much now to get it into stagger. He's already like halfway there because we got him pressured. You gotta watch for that attack. I kept messing up and getting hit by it. There we go. See, once he's pressured, he's so weak with this setup. Remember, we have like ice and elemental in our weapon, so there's a lot in its pressure gauge. And we just stopped it again. So this is gonna knock the boss into phase 3 now. You can see me going with Tifa here, using the Unbridled Strength abilities. And we can't do any more damage, we're damage capped, so here's phase 3. The boss doesn't really have that much HP once he enters phase 3 anyways, so it might actually be okay to use it in phase 1 and phase 2 to stop.
They're everywhere.
Don't panic.
Because once you get to phase 3, he's pretty much nearly dead now. So I attack the head here. I think I used Fire Gun there. But anyways, we're going right after the head. With 2 different elements. And that pressured the boss really badly. So that's a good strategy. You can see that I am ignoring the tentacles on purpose. Basically, you're supposed to kind of attack those tentacles, but my focus was to get this boss pressured and staggered as quick as possible. That way, we can just finish it off. So now that the head is destroyed here, well, it is like inches away from being staggered, so now we can just finish it off really easily.
Seizing the
At the start of Chapter 6, just keep progressing the story. You can skip playing the minigames to get the beach outfit since you already have it from normal mode. So just proceed to the changing booth once you are able to access it to change into your beach attire, and continue the quest. Do this for Tifa and Aerith as well, and then proceed to the beach for a boss fight. Select which team to assist and defeat the enemies there, which will then put you right into a boss fight. Alright, so during this fight, we're gonna have 2 characters that obviously get imprisoned, leaving us to 1 vs 1 this thing later on. But this boss fight is actually really easy because we have Thunder. Basically, we just need to get Aerith to put down her arcane ward first. That's the most important thing. That arcane ward is gonna stay on the field the entire time, even when the boss changes phases and cutscenes. Yeah, so the main thing that we want to do is cast Thundaga on it with Cloud, because we have Cloud set up with magic power. And then once phase 2 happens, or pretty close to it, we're gonna put Discharge on for the enemy skill. It's gonna allow us to do lightning damage with our weapon. As you can see right now, we can't really do anything. This is so stupid because the boss just sits here immune to every attack. Because we can't change phases right now. It has to capture every enemy. It has to capture every ally first before it changes phases. So right now I'm just building up ATB. At this point you should either heal or save your ATB gauge, because you shouldn't be trying to do any damage to it, like with Thundaga or whatever, because you're just gonna waste your ATB gauge, since right now it's immune to damage. And look how long this goes on for. It just goes on for so long. Anyways, I'm just gonna use Akira here. So I decided to use the Thunder Up for some reason. I'm not sure. Oh, I think what I was trying to do was build the pressure gauge up. That's why. I think you can still build the pressure gauge up even when it's immune. So if you want to do some extra damage, you can to build that pressure gauge up somewhere. But that's pretty much all you're gonna do once it's immune to damage. There we go. Now we can start this phase. This phase goes by really quick because all I need to do is one Thunder Gun on that arcane ward. Honestly, I probably could have got away with just using Thunder on it. Remember, we have Discharge, so we did that explosive lightning attack there when we attacked and got an ATB gauge. I used the Thunder Gun here, but watch, it only need one cast and it changed phases. So probably would have been better to use Thundara, and then that way I would have had one ATB gauge left to use it, which would have been a lot better. But it's so easy anyways. Remember, we have Discharge, so we're doing lightning damage to him. And look at that stagger gauge go up really quickly. He's almost gonna be staggered. But this game keeps changing cutscenes, like as if we want to see them. I just want to play the damn game. Anyways, Thunder got right on a cylinder so we can break it and stagger him at the same time. And of course he's gonna die right here because we do one more Thunderga from the arcane ward. And then we're just gonna use Braver. That's all we need to do. Braver. And one more Braver will do it. There we go. That's the boss. Easy peasy. With the boss defeated, we can now move on to Chapter 7. Once Chapter 7 has started, make your way to the Costa billboard to select a new quest. Once you've selected the quest, make your way to the quest icon to talk to the NPCs, and then complete the 2 minigames marked on the minimap as quest icons. Next, fast travel to the Rent-A-Bird stables to meet up with Yorda, and then teleport to Clamshell Beach to gather seashells using your chocobo set. Once you gather 3 seashells, deliver them to Yorda at the stables and then return to the beach to complete the quest. We will have new quests unlocked that give manuscripts, so let's complete Bodybuilders in the Bind next. Once you've grabbed the quest, teleport to the training gym. For this quest, you will simply need to defeat the fiends near the gym. The map highlights the general area that you are allowed to search for fiends, for it to count towards your quest. Once you defeat all 4 fiends, you will be rewarded with the manuscript. This covers all of the manuscripts for now, so let's start progressing through Chapter 7's story. We will now be fighting the Valkyrie boss. It is weak to ice and wind. Here is my setup. Alright, so this boss should be pretty easy here. We're gonna have Aerith cast her Arcane Ward, of course. Everybody's gonna be using the Thunder God pretty much because it's gonna pressure the boss really quickly. The bosses should be very weak to Thunder. And since we have that Arcane Ward, we're obviously gonna double cast it. It's already pressured. Now we're just building up that gauge really quick at this point. Aerith has 2 ATB bars, which is perfect. She's a very strong magic. So as you can see, we already pretty much had the boss staggered already. Didn't take very long. Couple casts with the Thunder Gut on the Arcane Ward. Remember, you can heal for free with Soothing Breeze. If you don't mind spending MP, you can use Cura. But I chose to save my MP because there is more boss fights.
This one's for you.
Anyways, let's get another Thunder God off and stagger this boss. Now, this boss is weak to stop, which means that we will be able to cast stop twice.
Go on.
So you'll see me cast it once, right now, while it's staggered.
One more shot.
This way, we can deal as much damage as we possibly can
Here it comes.
before it changes phases. Also, important to put Prime mode on so you can get Berserk damage for Cloud.
One more shot.
I don't know why I did Infinity's End there. I should have done a Thunder. I think I was scared that I might have hit the damage cap. Maybe that's why. That's why I didn't want to waste 2 ATB bars on Thundaga or MP on using Thundaga. Anyways,
Try using it.
like I said, I'm not even sure if you're gonna need a walkthrough for this boss because he's so easy. Since this boss is so weak to Thunder, and we have Aerith with her Arcane Ward, that's what makes this boss easy. You want to try and stay away from that purple mist, otherwise it is going to put you to sleep, like it did to me. However, we don't have to worry too much about Cloud right now. We can just, we have Red 13 with 2 bars, so let's go cast Thunder God with him. If it would let me. There we go. By the time he does that, Cloud will wake up. And he's pressured. We can build up Cloud's ATB gauge here really quickly, because he has haste. Oh, look at that dodge. That was a really nice dodge. That beam would have owned me. There we go. That should stagger it, I think. Maybe, yeah, very close. There we go. Alright, so that's gonna finish this boss off now. Remember to cast stop one last time, just so you have plenty of time to work with to finish this boss off. You probably won't even have to cast it one last time, but just in case.
Oh no, you don't.
Get him.
Focus. I'm ending. Take him down.
You're mine now.
Break yourself.
Kind of holding up now.
Watch this.
Once the boss is defeated, keep progressing with the story. You are now going to have Yuffie in the party as your leader. Here is the setup that I have for her while progressing through this chapter. Here is how to play with Yuffie using this setup. You want to use Discharge Enemy skill and put Mug onto your shortcut command. Using Mug will quickly refill your ATB gauge and deal a lot of damage with Discharge's AoE explosion. It can also build up stagger on fiends quite quickly while healing you at the same time because of Discharge's AoE and the HP absorb linked up to enemy skill. In emergency situations, have Yuffie cast Soothing Breeze to heal yourself and the party when monsters are staggered so that they can't attack you during the healing process. And if you're in the middle of healing while the fiend is dead, then it won't cancel the animation and you'll continue the heal outside of combat, making this ability that much more powerful for healing. The next part of the story leads us to a boss fight with Gigatris. Here is the material setup that I used for this boss. Alright, so with Yuffie, we're obviously going to be casting Discharge in just a second, but first we're going to do the Fire Ninjutsu with her. Another thing that you want to do with her is Doppelganger, because this will allow you to have 2 Yuffies, pretty much. If you thought one Yuffie was strong, now you got 2 Yuffies. I haven't cast Discharge yet, but I think I do it soon? Like right now, maybe? There it is. So, basically you want to try and do enough damage to bring the boss down to the ground. So the more damage you do while the boss is in the air, it'll come down and get pressured, just like that. Now, once the boss is down and pressured, it's super easy to build up that stagger gauge, as you can see. And we have it staggered. Now at this point, you just want to switch to Tifa and start unleashing all of your unbridled strength abilities here. Try and do it quicker. I don't know why it cast his stop. That was... yeah, that wasn't good. It had no effect at all. So that was a waste of a turn. But anyways, it goes into phase 2. That's all that matters.
Oh, it's on now, bird.
Yuffie is so good in this game. So once again, it's back in the air again, so we just have to inflict a lot of damage to bring it down again and get it pressured. Sonic Boom actually does help, because it gets your faith up, if you do want to cast that. With Barret, I cast Bonus Round, and I'm also going to cast Turbulent Spirit with him soon. That way we can get his ATB gauge up super fast every time, for quite a while. Short period of time. Anyways. There! We did enough damage. Now he's pressured on the ground. Remember, when you get him in this state, it's... you want to take full advantage. So, just go all out on him to build up that stagger gauge. So I'm going to use Focus Shot with Barret here. Focus Shot actually does a lot of pressure gauge damage if you have 2 bars. It will do a massive amount. There's Turbulent Spirit.
Let's go.
Don't think you'll walk away from this.
See, we have 2 bars with him. That's why I casted Turbulent Spirit. That way we can get 2 bars with Barret. I'm going to use Fire Gun with him, and I'll watch this. That should be enough to stagger him. There we go. Now, if Tifa has 2 bars, we should actually be able to finish the boss here. Or at least come very close to it. Yeah, I guess that was too slow. I didn't start to get really good at hard mode until like chapter 10, I think. That's when I got a lot faster at it. But I'm gonna raise Yuffie here. And the Limit Break from Barret pressured the boss. Got him right down on the ground. And we finish him off with Maximum Fury. So that's the boss fight. Once the boss is defeated, you'll need to continue the story until you unlock more side quests to complete. When you reach that point, you will need to start the quest of Robed Man and Randoms by talking to the doctor and then proceed to follow Red 13. Once you make it to the cave, you'll get your fast travel point there, so you can teleport to a chocobo stop if you need to heal HP and MP, and then teleport back to the cave. Proceed through the cave until you get to the boss fight. This boss fight is really easy. Just make sure Cloud is equipped with Enhanced Camaraderie, Earrings, and Aerith has Choco King's Cape. You will need to use Arcane Ward, ATB Boost, and Blizzaga with Aerith. Then have Cloud cast Sonic Boom to enhance his magic power and use his Synergy skill Spellblade to make the boss repeatedly flinch, dealing over 7,000 plus damage, and building up Cloud's ATB really fast. You can mix this up with using Cloud's Blizzagot in Eris Ward, and the boss should die very quickly. I started the fight with only 2000 HP for Cloud, and still kept him alive during it. After the boss fight, you'll get your manuscript and complete the quest.
Do it!
And no more games! It's over! Let me handle this!
I won't give up.
I'll show you what I can do. You've got this!
Need to heal up. Let's switch it up.
You're up! Here goes! Don't think you'll walk away from this! Another!
Now, we can move on to Chapter 8. In this chapter, we will now have new outfits available to purchase at the Gold Saucer. They will cost 1000 Gold Saucer points each. You can either grind for these outfits now or later. When you are ready, you can progress the story by teleporting to Skywheel Square and keep proceeding with the story until you get to the Chocobo Gold Cup. In hard mode, we have the option to skip racing the event, so take advantage of that to save yourself some time. Now keep proceeding with the story until you encounter the first chapter boss, Dying. Here was Barrett's equipment set up for the battle. Okay, so we're gonna start the boss fight with bonus round for Barrett, and then of course the overcharge. Build up an ATB, make sure you parry / block the attacks. You can dodge roll through that the way that I did. You can see that there's like space to dodge it. Anyways, I'm gonna cast Fire Gun on this guy here, and we pressured him. So when he's pressured, if you can build up 2 ATB gauge, you can do a lot more pressure gauge damage with Bear's Focus Shot. But it doesn't take much to get him into phase 2, as you can see. So another important thing to do is you can hide behind the rocks when he does a very powerful attack. But make sure you put that bonus round back on, because this is our stagger damage. We need that. So you make sure you have it on. Now, use Chakra to heal if you have to. Block damage, the weak bullets. Point and blank can be kind of tricky to block sometimes, but if you're behind the rocks, he should miss you. But anyways, we should be able to get him staggered any second here now. I just didn't play that very well. He already should have been staggered. There, we got him pressure now, because of bonus round. So I'm gonna use Focus Shot, that should stagger him. Oh, very close.
Ain't done yet. Please.
Let's get a Fire Gun on him really quickly here. And here's the final phase.
Can't remember.
So at this point here, this is where we're going to use Turbulent Spirit.
Still saving. I'm gonna kill
But first we have to run all the way back here. And make sure you're dodging that. You can see the open space that allows you to really be able to avoid those attacks. But there's Turbulent Spirit, just casted. Remember, this allows us to get our ATB gauge up super fast, as you can see. We already have 2 bars up. Which means if we want, we could cast another Fire Gun. And that's what we're going to do right here.
Get it together.
There's an overcharge, that's going to get our ATB gauge up. We have 2 bars again already. Just making sure I dodge that attack first before I do another Fire Gun on him. He's already almost dead. This attack actually got me really good, but that's okay. We have a limit break, and we have 2 ATB bars, so he's gonna die once I recover here. I decided to use my limit break, which probably should finish him off right here. Once you defeat Dine, you'll have another boss fight shortly after. Okay, so I actually have a better method for this boss fight now than I did in this video, but this is still a good method. Because you're still going to end up defeating the boss really quickly. He's weak to thunder, so you can see me casting thunder on him with Arcane Ward. Aerith Arcane Ward, and he's already going to be entering phase 2 shortly. You're going to build up that pressure gauge really fast here. The main thing that you want to make sure you dodge is the boss's beam attack, and I'm going to show you exactly how you can dodge it once he triggers that move. So we're using Plasma Discharge here, and we're just gonna attack with Yuffie right now. Once she gets 2 ATB gauge up, that's when we're gonna cast Thunder Gut with her. Right on the Arcane Ward, of course. This should probably do enough to maybe paralyze that boss. Also, remember, I casted Doppelganger with her, so she's casting Thunder Gut 4 times. Alright, so this is how you dodge. You go right behind the boss like this, and he'll miss you. So make sure you do that. Because if you get hit by that attack, it's yeah, you don't want to get hit by that attack. You're pretty much gonna be almost KO'd if you get hit by it. Cloud's gonna use his Thunder Gut, and there we go, phase 2. I didn't even have to use Thunder Gut. Because once the cutscene plays, I don't even get to do my second cast, so I just wasted 2 ATB gauge for nothing. Then the boss regenerated his little stagger gauge there. Sucks. But we're gonna use Thunder Gut on the left legs this time, and it's gonna go up really quickly in the second phase here, so it doesn't matter. Because once you break the legs, you can stun the boss like this. So just aim for the legs. Make sure you aim for the left leg and the right leg. You're gonna be able to stagger this boss, and once both legs are broken, of course, it's gonna do massive damage. Not only for the boss, but also for the stagger gauge. You want to make sure you're playing a fast character like Yuffie, because once the boss does his beam attack, you want to get behind the boss so you don't take damage from it. And Yuffie is super fast at doing that. Make sure you either heal yourself with Curago or Soothing Breeze if you want to save your MP. Either works fine. Alright, we're about to stagger this boss now. That's why I said it's a lot easier to stagger the boss in the second phase, because once you destroy the legs, it doesn't take much to stagger him. I ended up casting a level 2 number break there with Cloud. Then we're going to use Yuffie's Banishment, because that does a lot of damage, especially when the boss is staggered and it's fully powered up. And yeah, so let's finish the boss off here now. Another Thunder Gut with Cloud should do it. There we go. So, not a bad boss fight as long as you make sure that you dodge that beam attack. Once the boss is defeated, you'll be able to skip the part where you have to shoot the boss with Barret. And now we can move on to Chapter 9. The first thing we will do in Chapter 9 is battle the Tonberry King for its manuscript and item required for the Ganji Ring. Here is my equipment setup. Alright, so this enemy shouldn't be too tough with the safety bits that I have on, because they are going to protect you from instant death. So it's very important that you have that accessory on. Obviously, you want to make sure that you cast that arcane ward, and then just keep double casting magic over and over, and you'll kill this thing really quickly. It actually might have been better to have an ATB ward as well for Yuffie. That way she can use her Brumo form. Probably would have been a lot easier if that, because that's how you pretty much cheese this entire game. But I was rolling with a different party at this point in the game. But yeah, you guys can do that if you want. Should be able to cheese this guy super quick. But as you can see, he doesn't really, he's already almost dead, so. If you just remember to keep yourself healed and or revive the party members that fall, if you're struggling, then you should be able to get through this, no problem.
I'll take care of them. It's okay.
Don't overdo it.
I got this.
So yeah, I'm just gonna run here with Tifa now. I think one of my characters did not have the safety bit. I can't remember which one it was. It might have been Cloud. Next, continue with the story until you get to the village of Gongaga, where we will be picking up new side quests. The first side quest we can pick up is the Pursuit of Perfection. Pick up the quest and then continue with the story until you're able to fast travel again. Once you proceed with the story, you will need to fight the Specimen boss. Here is my materia setup for the boss fight. So first, we're gonna have to go through some trash mobs before we can actually get to the boss. So we'll just deal with these guys here, and then moving on up. There's gonna be more trash mobs right over here. These are the last guys before the actual boss though, and they're just really easy to kill with our setup, as you can see. Now it's the boss fight. So skip that cutscene, and cast haste. Now, this boss is gonna cast buffs on himself. I believe it starts in the second phase that he does this. So, you're gonna have the character that you gave D-Spell to. Actually, he does it now as well. So you're gonna see that I D-Spell it with Barret. So, randomly, he'll cast buffs on himself. Just make sure you D-Spell it with Barret. And just keep casting Blizzaga and whatever other attacks you can, because right now we just got the boss pressured. I'm using focus shot with Barret, and you can see that we already have that pressure gauge up, but you don't want to try not to fill the gauge up to the max. And the reason for this is that if you can get to the boss to phase 2 with the gauge almost filled, then that means that you can stagger him in phase 2 immediately. Like, very, very quickly. So as you can see, we got him pressured again, and he's about to enter phase 2 with a bar that's almost full. Because look how low his HP is getting. He's about to enter the phase 2 now. And that stagger bar is going to stay the same. It's not going to disappear. Which means we'll be able to stagger him very quickly, because it's not going to take much to stagger him when that bar is that full. So as you can see right now, it's phase 2.
Yeah. Well, I'm about to jump. Wanna do this?
No idea.
And he still has the same bar. So now we can stagger him. And once we get him staggered, we're gonna cast Stop on him, because Stop does take effect on this boss. I wasn't really sure how to play Kaseth here yet, like that well. I was still kind of learning him, so I didn't really know what I wanted to use with him. Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna dispel because he put that buff back on again, and we got him staggered. You want to try and save Turbulent Spirit in case you don't end up killing the boss when it's staggered. But right now, because remember when I said that I was going to stop the boss when he's staggered, this isn't going to give us more time to do more DPS on him. It actually would have been good if I used Prime Mode, because then I could have got my Berserk, but I didn't use it. I don't even know why I used this. Should have just did enough damage for Blizzaga. Infinity's End. Alright, there's Turbulent Spirit. We can get Varus ATB gauge up really quickly here. Get some Blizzaga cast off. Which might actually pressure him. Oh, he put that fucking barrier back on, or whatever it is. His buff. Just as I was about to cast it too. But he's almost dead. I think one more Blizzaga should do it. Once you defeat the boss, continue the story until the next boss fight. Here's my equipment setup for the boss. Alright, so the first phase is actually really easy because we can just use Yuffie's Brumo form for this. The second phase is going to be harder because it's going to be immune to magic, so in this first phase you want to take advantage of using magic while we can. So we're going to be casting Thundaga on the boss.
I'll show you what I can do.
The ATB ward is so that Yuffie's Brumo form can get the ATB gauge up for the party members really quickly. Now with Thundaga, you can see that we're hitting max damage on it. That first casted, and we're aiming for the weak points, right? The arms.
Excuse me?
Once you break them both, he'll be pressured, or she'll be pressured. And we'll be able to stagger it really quickly, just like that. With the boss staggered, you can take advantage of using Tifa's Unbridled Strength abilities until it enters phase 2. Now, that was the easy part.
It's past time that I got. Hands light on and ground your faces into dust!
Now, the hard part here is you want to use Tifa's dive kick on top of the arms, because we had to do physical damage to break the arms really quickly. But the problem is that the boss moves around, so you kind of have to practice doing this and get really good at it, because I messed up quite a bit. So dive kick right on the arms, but I was too far away. So that's the problem with dive kick, is you need to make sure you're really close to the boss to do it. Don't be too far from the boss, otherwise you're gonna miss. You can see that I did it again when I was far from the boss. I ended up realizing my mistake after. But it was already too late by then because we already killed the boss, so. Let's do another dive kick, I think. Right on the arm. See, this time I'm gonna get it. See how close I am to the boss? And I got it that time. So just try to make sure that you're close to the boss when you do the dive kick. And be very careful because, like I said, the boss will move around. And you might miss your dive kick if you do it too late. Because he ended up moving. Now he's gonna shoot his little freaking rocket arms here. We're gonna end up killing one of them though. You can see one is like super weak from the dive kicks that we actually landed. So that one's not gonna take much to kill. It's already dead. We only have one more left to destroy now. Once we destroy this last arm here, Scarlet is going to release herself and we'll be able to attack Scarlet to stagger her. So let's try and focus on getting that. It's almost has no HP. There we go. Scarlet now should release herself here. You can see Scarlet's name. Now we can attack her. So just do a powerful cast like Thundaga, and this should stagger the boss if you aim for Scarlet on the arcane ward. There we go. So at this point now you can actually stop the boss to do more DPS if you need to. And that should be enough to finish the boss off. Once you defeat the Crimson Mare Mark II, continue the story until fast travel opens back up and pick up more quests at the board. We will start with the Pursuit of Perfection side quest. Simply follow the side quest until you get the map, and then head to this location here on the map. Start the battle using Sleep plus Magnify with Cloud, and then you can use Cloud synergy ability with Aerith to heal a lot of magic damage. If we equip Wind plus Elemental linked up to your weapon, you may even deal max damage to them. I forgot to equip that, but still dealt nearly 7,000 damage each. With Aerith, cast Arcane Ward, ATB boost, and Aeroga. And the fiends will nearly all be dead at this point, so just finish them off.
Too bright? It's on you. Here goes. Try using it. Every little bit helps. It's your turn.
I got
Let's get him.
It's on now.
You jittery?
Now we can start Oh Chicken, Where Art Thou? Side quest. For this quest, keep luring the chickens back to the lady, and eventually we'll have to battle a fiend. For this fight, use Discharge on Cloud and your synergy skill with Aerith to deal a lot of damage.
Gotta be no holding back. Just in case. With me.
You ready? Get him!
Come on. Do it.
Ready? Ready?
You're up.
Okay.
Here it comes.
Go on,
Don't stop now.
let's finish it. This one's for you.
Now return to town to complete the quest and start the Teach Me Great Warrior side quest. For this side quest, just keep following Sotetsu and battle fiends. For the first lesson, just simply utilize the fiend's weaknesses to complete the challenge easily enough. Just make sure Sotetsu stays alive for every encounter.
Calling ice.
Too bright?
It's on now. All right. Shit. Need a breather.
I'll take care of him. This should make you stronger. I'll take care of you.
Need to heal up. Focus.
Keep the party fresh outside of combat by using a reserved party member's cure spell. For the second lesson, have Cloud with Fire and Ice linked up to Elemental, and wait for the Fiend to use Ambush. Once the Fiend is ready enough to ambush, use Focus Thrust 2 times the pressure and stagger the Fiend.
That's that. Here it's on now.
Too bright?
Going in.
How shocking! See out!
For the third lesson, use Discharge enemy skill with Cloud, and also keep Fire and Ice linked up with Elemental on his weapon. Simply use Triple Slash to pressure and stagger the enemies to defeat them really quickly.
You're mine.
You jittery?
For the fourth lesson, simply use Fire Gun plus Magnify linked up with Cloud and Aerith to defeat both Grand Horns at once. I used Sleep plus Magnify with Cloud because I didn't want to risk my animation being interrupted by their charge attack, so you can do the same if you don't want to risk that happening to you as well. As long as Aerith has Fire Gun plus Magnify linked up, then this is an easy enough fight.
Let's go!
Time. Whatever.
Why don't you lead the way?
I got this.
Now head back to talk to Sotetsu to claim your reward. The next quest we will do is the Spice of Life. For this quest, we will need to follow Melon the dog and defend him from fiends. The battles are very easy. You can just spam Triple Slash and ATB boost with Fire Elemental linked up on Cloud's weapon, and that will be enough to win all the fights and get your manuscript from the final fiend battle. Now you just simply collect the pink mushrooms, and then for the next part of the side quest, use the chokeable sense of smell to find the rest of the ingredients and battle some more fiends. These fiends have a high dodge rate, so you might want to use Aerith's ward and cast high level magic with your party members. Having attack magic linked up with Magnify will help a lot, since you'll be able to target every fiend with each cast.
So it's my turn? Every little bit helps. Tagging out.
Taking over. Don't overdo it.
Let me handle this. Watch yourself. I'll show you what I can do. Got a sting. Can you take over for
My
me?
turn. Shatter.
Feeling chilly? Bundle up.
Once you gather the rest of the ingredients, turn your quest in and proceed to the Sultan of Stench to get the last manuscript and item that we need to create the Genji gloves. In this location, you'll be fighting the Great Malboro. Make sure Aerith is your party leader, and at the start of the fight, use her to run behind the Malboro when it is casting its Bad Breath attack that inflicts various detrimental status effects that leave you completely helpless until you have someone cast Isuna on you. Ribbon does protect from this, which is why I gave Cloud Isuna Megafy to use in emergency situations. It's important that we bait the Malboro with the party leader so that the Fiend will track him or her. Eventually, the Fiend will stop tracking and you'll be able to safely cast Arcane Ward, ATB Boost, and ATB Ward behind it. It's at this point that you want to use Yuffie's Doppelganger and or ATB Boost first, depending on how many bars of ATB you have, and then start using Brumal Form to build ATB up for every party member really quickly. Immediately start casting Blizzaga with everyone once they have 2 ATB gauges full, including Yuffie when she gets her 2 ATB gauges, because she will cast Blizzaga 4 times with Doppelganger. You can further increase this power using Sonic Boom since it adds a Faith and Bravery buff. I forgot to cast that unfortunately, but she's already strong enough at 400 plus magic power for this Fiend. You should be able to wipe the boss out before it does another Bad Breath attack, but if not, just use a fast party member to lure it and then hide behind the boss so that you don't get hit by it. Cloud can always use Isuna Magnify to remove all detrimental status effects from anyone that gets hit by it. Just make sure to stay out of its purple cloud. After the boss fight, create the Genji gloves and use them on any strong character for tough battles to break the damage limit with that character. Now let's move on to chapter 10. First thing we are going to do in chapter 10 is defeat the Jabberwock for its manuscript and item needed to create another Genji accessory. So head to the Wyvern Awoken classified intel location. At the start of the fight, cast Arcane Ward, ATB Boost, and ATB Ward with Aerith. Next, with Yuffie, cast ATB Boost and start bouncing around to get your party members' ATB gauge up. Once their gauge nearly has 2 full ATB bars, start casting Firaga with Yuffie, and then cast Firaga with Aerith and Cloud, and start to build ATB back up with Yuffie when they are casting their magic. The Fiend should be nearly dead at this point, so just finish it off.
Taking over.
Or split the earth with a single stalk. But I find
Don't overdo it.
that said, whoever is happening first gets highlighted for extended periods by petrifying himself.
Let's do this.
Scarlet Sword. Short power and everything. Mustn't miss this chance.
Take the lead.
You've got this. I'm your one-stop Come on!
After the fight, you'll now be able to craft Genji earrings. Now, let's continue the story until we get to the Cave of G. You can use Red 13's charge attack to flinch and stagger the smaller enemies repeatedly without them having a chance to attack you. Have Barret with enemy skill so he can use Soothing Breeze if you happen to lose some HP. As you keep progressing through the G Cave, you will soon encounter the G Lancer. Have Barret equipped with Shoko King's Cape and First Strike, and wait for the G Lancer to come down and then cast Mind Blast with Barret. This will deal magic damage over a large radius and also increase the stagger gauge damage. With Barret casting Mind Blast, switch to Red 13 and use ATB boosts. With First Strike equipped, and cast Stardust Ray to stagger and kill the Fiend. Now keep proceeding through the cave until we get to the boss. Here is my materia setup. Now, I actually forgot to switch out healing Karkanet when I did my battle. I'm showing my materia after the boss fight is over. So make sure you switch to materia that will actually be useful. You can see that it ended up switching it out to show something more useful. The reason why I had it on during the boss fight is because I was testing a different method that I came up with but didn't like it and forgot to switch it out. Alright, so you're gonna notice that I have a summon strength charm on Barret there. And that's gonna be for phase 2. You're gonna find out why. Because that's gonna make this boss really easy. We're actually gonna use Alexander. In the meantime, just focus on phase 1 here. You can use Bioga with Red 13. Hey, just keep doing damage. Yeah, bonus round does help for staggering the boss too. But I end up going for Maximum Fury. So we're just gonna, once we get the boss pressured here, and we get him staggered, you can actually stop the boss. He's pressured right now from that Stardust Ray. So at this point here, we're just gonna build up his ATB really fast. We use Focus Shot with Barret. With 2 ATB gauges, that's going to do massive amounts of pressure gauge damage to the stagger bar. It's already almost full now, as you can see. So like I said, now that he's staggered here, you can stop with Barret, or whoever has stop. Yeah, Barret has stop. Just take the magnify effect off it, so that way you don't lose time. Now, at this point here, you can just keep doing DPS on him. The boss is going to have 2 more phases after this, but it's not too much to worry about. The only phase that we really have to worry about is the second phase. But I'm going to show you an easy way to get through that phase. So as you can see right now, we do have the boss stop. And I ended up casting a bonus round there. And right now we're going to cast Alexander, because we're preparing for the second phase.
Don't let me down, y'all.
It's very important that you have Alexander up. So Stagger Mage is gone, and here's phase 2. Alright, so we're going to use Alexander's abilities here to pretty much kill all of these little minions that spawned in. First heal up with Red 13's enemy skill. Now you want to use Grand Laser with whoever has ATB gauge for it. In this case I'm using Barret while Red 13 heals us. And I'm going to use it one more time here. I think there's only like 3 guys left from that Grand Laser. Yeah, there's only like 3 flames left, see? So that's what Alexander's for. You use Grand Laser to take out all the soul flames. And now we can just focus straight on the boss. And now we can use Alexander's attacks right on the boss as well. So I'm gonna try it here. I tried the Grand Laser, I just wanted to see how much damage it would do. And it pressured the boss. I probably should have tried the first move just to see how much that would do. But I think Grand Laser was the only one that I tested. Either way, as you can see, it goes by really fast. This is the hardest phase too, is phase 2. So you get through this phase really easy with Alexander. Boss is staggered, we're gonna do DPS on it. And it's gonna be just in time, alright, for Alexander to do his special on phase 3. We're gonna have just enough time. Look, it's almost dead already. And now I damage capped it, so I can't even do any more damage at this point. So what I'm gonna do is haste, magnify effect with Barret, and now phase 3. Like I said, just in time for Alexander's special coming up. So it worked out all perfectly. This will do max damage, obviously.
See you soon. Guess it's my turn. Yeah. You're up.
Once the boss is defeated, continue with the story and equip Firaga, Magnify on Aerith, along with Choco King's Cape, First Strike, and ATB Boost. Equip the same material with Cloud. You'll want to cast Arcane Ward, ATB Boost, and Firaga Magnify with Aerith, and then cast Firaga Magic with Yuffie and Cloud on her ward if needed. You should be able to easily get through this area and then continue the story until we can fast travel and start doing side quests. The first side quest that we are going to do is From Whence Life Flows. The first location we need to head to is located here on the map. There are no fiends to fight in that location, so just simply head there and progress the quest. The second location that we need to head to is located here. You will fight some fiends, but they are really quick and easy to defeat. Just use Yuffie's Discharge and Mug ability over and over to defeat them all, or use Cloud. The third location that we need to head to is located here on the map. At this location you will also have a couple fiends that are easy enough to defeat. The fourth location is located here. Once you've defeated these fiends, you can now head to the fifth and final location that is located here. We will now have a battle with the fiends that drop the manuscript. These fiends are also really easy to defeat without using any MP if you just use Yuffie's Discharge and Mug ability skill to stun and stagger them really quickly. You can also mix in some of her weapon abilities if you have 2 ATB bars. Once you defeat the fiends, you will complete the quest, and we can now start Absence of Assigned Quests. Head to the first photograph spot to battle our Reaper Tail. I was able to defeat this fiend by just using Yuffie's Mug and Discharge mixed in with some abilities, and when the fiend got staggered I used Cloud's Infinity's End. After the fight, take a picture and try to at least get 80%, and then head to the next location. You will need to fight another Reaper Tail at this location. Don't be afraid to use MP if you need to kill it quicker, because you can always rest a chocobo spot later to replenish it. Once you capture the photo, head to the next photograph spot. You will of course need to fight another Reaper Tail here, so just defeat it really quickly, snap your picture, and then make your report to finish the quest. Next, grab the quest Promises to Keep. You will start the quest by battling fiends. You can defeat them really quickly with Yuffie's Discharge enemy skill and Mug ability mixed in with some skills. Heal with Soothing Breeze if any of your party members get low HP, since you can heal the entire party with it. And then continue tracking the G after your first battle.
You better make it count.
Do the same thing for the second battle, and then keep tracking down the G and defeat them as well to keep progressing. Heal up at the nearby chocobo bench to prepare yourself for the next fight against the Irasaurus if you need to. For this fight, use Aerith to cast Arcane Ward, ATB Boost, and ATB Ward. Then have Yuffie build up ATB for the party with Brumo form, and have Cloud cast Dispel to dispel the boss's barrier. Then you just simply need to cast Thundaga with the entire party on Aerith's ward to kill it. If you have high magic power and Genji gloves on Cloud, he can potentially break the damage limit with Thundaga, especially if you use Faith to further boost his magic power. But it's not necessary to do that for this fight. Once the boss is defeated, you will complete the quest. Before we move on to chapter 11, make sure to do the VR Brutal and Legendary challenges first. I already have a guide for that.
Gotta keep it together.
You insist. Generous charm in a twist. Too bright. Good to go? You can do it!
I got this. It's on you.
I'm your one but I'm gonna hold on. Get him!
Let's start chapter 11 by defeating the King Zhu. The most important thing to note for this fight is that we have Fire Elemental equipped on our armor. This will allow you to absorb all of the King Zhu's attacks at level 3. So I recommend maxing it out because Elemental is a very good materia to have maxed out. Make sure you aim for the King Zhu's wings first until they break. Casting Thundara with Yuffie or any other character that has Thunder Magic equipped is all that's needed to break the wings really quickly because of the King Zhu. Because the King Zhu is weak to Thunder.
It's on you.
Eventually leads the flock to live in complete solitude. The reason for this is someone need a rest. Some theorize that they do so to create an environment in which a new king can one day emerge. Perhaps your efforts here will help us get to the bottom of this or any other mystery. Updating now.
Thank you!
I believe in you!
Thank you!
Wow! What a fight!
That was good. Okay!
Come on!
And cut now! This one's for you! Get lost!
Victory is all the same!
One more shot!
Data collect.
Once the King Zhu is defeated, continue with the story until you get to your first boss fight with the Diabolic variant. Here's my equipment for that boss fight. You want to start the boss fight by casting Blizzaga with Cloud on the arms to break them, and then have Tifa cast Haste on everyone.
Deal with that.
All set! It's on you! You're in good hands now! Get lost! There's more to me than meets the eye.
My turn.
Bring it!
When the boss spawns his clones, make sure to aim for the arms again when they spawn back. Have Cloud use Prime Mode for more damage with the Berserk effect that Prime Mode has, and you should easily defeat this boss.
How do you like this? Got him now! Good to go? Watch yourself.
Taking over. Here we go.
All set! You're up!
Keep it together.
You insist! Feel me proud!
Take the lead.
Let me... It's on You're in good hands now. How about you show us?
Once the boss is defeated, continue with the story. The only normal enemy during the next part of the story that you'll likely have trouble with is the Adjudicator. They are weak to lightning, so equip K-Sith with lightning spells and use Thundera. The first Adjudicator will be easy to take on. The next two Adjudicators will need you to tweak up your setup by adding Thunder, Magnify, and using it on them, which will cause the Adjudicators to use Reflect. You can easily take one Adjudicator out when it's pressured, as I did here by using K-Sith's punch ability, and then you can focus on the last Adjudicator. Eventually, the Reflect will wear off that Adjudicator and you can easily finish it off with Thundera. Now we have a boss fight with Yin and Yang. Here's my setup for it. This will be a really easy boss fight if you have Reprieve learned for K-Sith, because once the boss blows up, you'll automatically survive with 1 HP, and you'll just need to do one attack to finish it off. Once Yin and Yang have been defeated, continue with the story until the next boss fight with the Forgotten Specimen. Here's my setup for that boss fight. The specimen will change from physical to magical. If you're attacking him with physical attacks, he will change to enhance his physical attack defenses. This means you now have to attack him with magic attacks until he switches again. Once he switches a couple times, he will be pressured, and we'll be able to use stop on him for the first time. Try to get as much damage off as you possibly can when he's stopped, and he will start changing phases shortly. Don't make the same mistake I did when he changed his phases, because I tried to cast stop, but he had a reflect on. Save stop for when the boss is staggered, and you'll be able to finish him off from there.
Something's different about it.
I'll show you what I can do. Try using it. Maybe this will do the trick. It's your turn.
Oh, right. Hit yourself. Your turn now.
Yeah, I'll do it. Not again.
Go on.
Lift her up.
Leave it to me. Easy does it. Beauty. I'll lock your claw off. You're in for it now.
Won't be nothing left of you when I'm gone.
Like the worst. Brace yourself. Ha ha! That deserves a wee round of applause.
It's in pain.
This is new right.
Here goes. Can you take over
You
for
got
me?
this.
I'm coming. It's your turn.
About damn time. Got her. Choke on it, asshole. Stay down, asshole. Fire and one.
Oh, I'll lock your claw off. Let's put on the brakes.
Give him what's coming.
Ready or not, here I come. You. It's your turn.
Let's kick it up a notch. Don't stop till it's...
Once the boss is defeated, continue with the story until the next boss fight with Galleon Beast. Here is my equipment for that boss fight. For this boss, have Keiteth cast Haste on Yuffie, and Aerith cast ATB Ward on Yuffie, and Arcane Ward on herself. Once you have that set up, use Yuffie's Brumal form to quickly build up ATB for everyone in the party, and use Firaga with both Keiteth and Aerith to deal significant damage to the boss, since he is weak to fire.
Don't let me down! Can you take over for me? You'll regret this! Too bad. So sad. Prominent twist. How's this? Someone needs rest. Prominent twist. Try and keep up. Too bad. So sad. Get fired up. Try and keep up.
Once Galleon Beast is defeated, continue with the story until we need to fight Roach. Here is my equipment for that fight. Start the fight with ATB boost, haste, and barrier.
Double time. Bring it.
Block and or parry his attack.
Whatever.
This attack where he will strike you multiple times and then jump in the air using Combustion Sword, which he will then follow up with Soul Cleave. You need to make sure you dodge both of these attacks and then follow up with a counter attack of your own to pressure him. Once he's pressured, cast Stop on him and use Focus Stress to quickly stagger him. When he's staggered, continue to do damage and stop him one more time if you have to, or save the stop for phase 2 where he's pressured at the start of phase 2. I personally find that phase 2 is super easy, so I use 2 stops on phase 1 to make sure that I am able to get him to phase 2 as soon as his stagger bar runs out.
Sorry. You okay?
I won't have your pity. This is a race, remember? Come on, Cloud. We're on the home stretch!
Once phase 2 starts, quickly build up your ATB using Prime Mode and use Focus Thrust to quickly stagger Roach since he is pressured. Once he is staggered, you can finish him off.
Try now. No holding back. Let's do this. Now you're in for it. You're as good as dead.
Once Roach is defeated, we can now start the side quest My White-Haired Angel. Once you reach the cat's location, you'll need to follow the cat back to town and defeat fiends along the way to protect the cat from getting injured. If you want to defeat these fiends really quickly, you can equip Fire Magnify on Aerith and Cloud with a magic build. This side quest is also very good for leveling up materia fast if you don't kill the queen bee right away and let it keep spawning the bees.
You're gonna feel this. Let's finish this.
You're going down. One more shot. Got you now.
Need that. Burn. Now. It's over. Calling ice. You're as good as dead.
Once you defeat all of the fiends, you will acquire the manuscript, and Fluffy will follow you back to the village. Once the side quest is complete, finish up chapter 11 and move on to chapter 12. At the start of chapter 12, continue the story until you get to Costa del Sol. We will need to teleport to North Coral. Once in North Coral, start the side quest Missing Mr. Birdie. You will need to use the item transmuter to create bird traps and place the traps into the cages located on the map. Once you've planted and checked all the traps, the last trap will have a powerful fiend to defeat. You can use Fire Elemental on your armor to absorb all of its fire attacks, or simply just keep using Blizzaga with Cloud and Aerith to defeat it quickly. Have Aerith cast a ward so that you can double cast. If you don't have Fire Elemental on your armor, make sure you avoid its self-destruct explosion. Once the fiend is defeated, head back to finish the quest.
Taking over. Let's go.
Get him! Ha! Here he comes! This one's for you!
Keep it together.
You can do it! I'm your one-stop clobbering!
Next, teleport to Calm and grab the Hustle and Grind side quest. When you start the quest, you will need to defeat fiends and then defeat the bandits. This boss fight is quick and easy with Yuffie's Brumo form and ATB plus Arcane Ward. Make sure Yuffie has the Speed Demon keychain equipped. Use Cloud, Firaga, and Aerith's Quake God to defeat the bandits.
Let's do this.
Try using it! You're in good hands now! Calm in a twist. So sad. That's it!
Next, head to Junian and complete the Tides of War and Worry quest, When Words Won't Do, The Hardest Shell, and Dreaming of Blue Skies to unlock Beneath Still Waters. This is the next quest that has the manuscript that we need. So once you have met those requirements, begin the quest. You will need to fight a Hell Rider during this quest. Just keep using the ATB ward, Brumo form, and Arcane Ward method to easily and quickly defeat it. And repeat the same method for any other tough fiends you encounter during the quest, and remember to have Yuffie heal the party if needed. During the last fight with the fiend, you will need someone to cast Dispel at the start of the fight to get rid of the fiend's reflect protection.
Calm in a twist. Just a sec. So sad. Try and keep up. How about you show
Let's
us
do
what you
this. It's on you.
So it's my turn? You've got this. Here I go.
Three.
Calm in a twist. You guys. So sad.
Next, we need to head to Calm to complete the Lifeline and Peril quest. This is one quest that is needed to unlock the next Manuscript quest in the Koro region called Trouble in Paradise. Once you've done this quest, make sure you've also completed the Heart of Shell quest, and then start Trouble in Paradise. For this quest, you'll need to craft the legendary bait in your item transmuter and use it to lure out the monsters. You can easily defeat these two fiends with Aerith's ATB ward and Arcane ward, and have Yuffie use Brumoform on the ATB ward. The fiends are weak to ice, have Cloud cast Blizzaga and Aerith cast Quake'a. Once you've defeated the two fiends, report back to complete the quest.
Got you now. All right.
My turn. Deal with that.
Tagging. You won't regret this. Calm in a twist. Try and keep up. Ready? Calm in a twist. Try and keep up. Too bad. So sad. Calm in a twist. Too bad. So sad. Okay. Calm in a twist. Too bad. So sad.
Now we can do the quest Sand and Circuses, so teleport to North Coral to start the quest. You'll need to complete the combat challenges to finish the quest. These combat challenges are really easy and shouldn't be an issue to get through. The only challenge you might have trouble on is the last one with Cloud. You just need to have Wind Elemental on his blade, and have Wind MP Absorb, Wind HP Absorb, and Wind Magic Focus. And if you want to deal more damage than 9,999, you can even put on Genji gloves to make the battle easier.
Scatter. No holding back. It's on now. Calling wind. You're done. Roar.
Next, head to Gongaga and complete the quest Escape from Endless Rider's Block, the Spice of Life, and Teach Me Great Warrior to unlock the next quest manuscript that we need for that region, which is Woodland Vigil. When you finish those quests, start Woodland Vigil. You will need to defeat the Gigantoad for this quest. Its weakness is Ice, have Yuffie use Brumoform on Aerith's ATB ward, and have Cloud and Aerith be the casters to quickly defeat this fiend.
Show you what I can do. Don't give up now, you guys. Tagging out. You won't regret this. Too bad. So sad. Try and keep up. How about you show
Let's
us
do
what you
this. It's on you.
I'm your one-stop sovereign shop. Too bad. So sad. Calm in a twist. Too bad. So sad. Try and keep up. Too bad. So sad. Try and keep up. Let me know that's right where I want you. One more shot. Together, six. Get fresh. Let's shake things up. Never help me out.
Come on.
Next, we will head to Cosmo Canyon. You will need to complete the quest Whence Life Flows and Promises to Keep. Once you've completed those quests, you will unlock the Victim of Circumstance quest for the next manuscript. Start that quest once you've unlocked it. This quest will be easy. You will just need to defeat the Giga Worm. We will be using our typical setup. Aerith casts ATB board and Arcane board. Yuffie uses Haste and Brumoform to get Cloud and Aerith's ATB gauge up fast, and then Cloud plus Aerith will use their magic to quickly defeat the fiend. You don't need to worry if Cloud or Aerith gets walled by the fiend, because you should still easily be able to stagger it in time to release the swallowed party member.
You've got this. Here I go. Let's get serious. You can thank me later. Don't let me down.
Let's do this.
Don't worry. Why don't you lead the way? You're in good hands now. Get him. Too bad. So sad. Calm in a twist. Try and keep up. Calm in a twist. Try and keep up. Too bad. So sad. Calm in a twist. Too bad. So sad. Try and keep up. Ready? Too bad. So sad. Try and keep up. Go on. That much fun.
Focus. Keep it up.
Ready to mess them up good? I can help too. Keep up the pressure, okay? Served up on a silver platter. One more.
Once the Fiend is defeated, head to Nibelheim to start the quest Lament of the Damned. In this quest, you'll need to defeat the Drana Barga. You can use Yuffie's Brumoform method to quickly defeat it.
Focus. Keep it together.
Here goes. Can you take over for me? Won't regret this. Needs more magic. Just calm in a twist. How about you show
I
it?
got you. Deal with that.
You're in good hands now. Too bad. So sad. Try and keep up. Calm in a twist. Try and keep up. Too bad. So sad. Try and keep up. Calm in a twist. Too bad. So sad. Calm in a twist. Get him.
Once you have collected all the manuscripts from the quest, make sure you complete any leftover side quests before you continue the story, so that we can unlock the final quest that has the last manuscript. This quest will unlock once we've made it further into the story, so don't panic if you don't see it unlocked by the time you've completed every possible side quest. Make sure you save the Gold Cup Chocobo Race quest for last, because that quest can be done during the main story for Chapter 12. Once you're done completing all the side quests, continue with the main story until you have to enter the battle arena. Here is my setup for the arena. For the first fight, absorb Tifa's Limit Break with Cloud and use Finishing Touch. Try to group up as much enemies as possible so that you can instantaneously get your Limit Break back up again once you defeat them. This fight will be easy with Fire Elemental on your armor. The Limit Break method that we are using just makes it go by faster.
Don't remind me. The memory of it still stings. And it's all the more reason the family is itching to win this grudge match.
Let's finish this.
Right you are! Finest warriors! A selection of our finest warriors! This match might be approaching its thrilling conclusion. Dio just seemed to be hitting the enemy's weak point with precision. With the mighty swing of his enormous blade. From the hell to die! Dio's champion!
It's on you.
For the second fight, the cactuars should be easy enough to deal with.
Fighters can run rings around the competition. Just trying to keep up with them on their daily work was almost impossible. Little beauty, pointy guy, lucky spot. I name my babies with love.
I'll end this.
But I'll be damned if I know which one's which now. You really raised them all
You're not getting away.
standing in the presence of a bona fide whisperer. We know they're small. We know if they've got a plan to stop Dio's champions in their tracks. Oh, they've got a plan. It's called how many times can we get a guy with a thousand needles before he's more than Walmart is born and bred. These succulents are gonna hurt about pins and needles. Literally.
Hang back.
Dio, watch out! Those pointy little fingers are packing extra heat now! You said it! So much heat, it'd make Heidegger blush!
Get ready.
This
Calling
match
out.
might be approaching its thrilling conclusion! Dio's champions are getting ready to bring down the hammer!
Bingo! Bring it! There!
No have to jump!
Here we go! Who's gonna feel this one? Giving it my all!
For the third part of the fight, you'll have to battle Dawn Tonberry. If you have Subversion and Warding on your armor, you'll be immune to instant death. Use Cloud's Limit Break after you siphon it from Tifa, and then use Tifa's Unfettered Fury so you can build up ATB quickly and defeat the Tonberries.
I got
We will come out on top! And now we've got ongoing battle! The weight of our hopes and dreams on their tiny shoulders! They're gonna slice and dice Dio's guys to bits and use those bits to build our family's future! We're in the end game now, folks!
Keep it up!
Can't tear our eyes away from these red Dio's champions are dominating!
Now, the fight against Abzu is where you might have trouble the most. Alright, here we are in Abzu now. So, mainly we're going to be using fire on him because I believe he's weak to fire, if I remember correctly. Fire God does a lot of damage, should do max damage. And make sure you get Prime Mode with Cloud. That way you get the Berserk effect. With Arcane Ward here, we're gonna cast Fire God, like I said. And look at that damage coming up. Right there, max damage. Plus, you get it pressured as well. Aerith is even stronger because I think I gave her the Genji gloves. Now we're gonna limit Siphon from Tifa here to get Cloud's limit break up.
Here goes! Go on!
And we're gonna send the boss in phase 2 like this. So we'll just do one more Fire God here. We're not gonna stagger the boss, we're actually just doing enough damage to the boss to send it to phase 2. We don't want to stagger it because in phase 2 here, we will have the bar almost full, right? So it's better that we don't stagger it in phase 1. That way we can stagger it very, very quickly in phase 2. And okay, so Cloud's Fire God here should stagger him. So I'm gonna switch to Tifa. Now, I didn't really use Tifa very well here, I don't know what I was doing. I should have used Omni Strike and then just kept repeating her Unbridled Strength abilities. True Strike was a pretty good move, but yeah. We probably Could have finished that boss off in stagger phase, but I mean, we got close enough.
On it.
It's just we're just gonna have to do another fire guy here, or maybe a fire move, fire. Even that would have been good, just to do like a little fire move. Tifa almost killed those fire guy. See, with Aerith, I went overkill. I should have just did fire. That would have been enough. I didn't have to use fire gun. Once Abzu is defeated, you'll now have to fight Root and Yelena. So heal up and save your game. Alright, so we're gonna focus on Yelena here. So make sure you get Cloud on Prime mode. And start attacking Yelena because remember, she's the weakest one. She's very fragile and she's easy to push around. So you can like stagger her really quickly, you can pressure her really quickly. Just watch out for Rude's electric attacks because they can stun you. Or they can paralyze you. Temporary. If you get hit by them. So you're gonna have to pay attention to the right there, the ground. Pay attention to the ground. If I would have got hit by that, I would have been paralyzed. Once we get Yelena's stick, look, that's what happens. So since Cloud got paralyzed because I got hit by that electric, an easy way to dodge it is to either dodge or use like attacks that jump in the air, like Braver. That way you can jump over the attack and still attack Yelena at the same time. But anyways, we got Yelena's stagger, which is gonna push these two bosses into phase 2 now. Now, the first thing we want to do in phase 2 is make sure that we get Cloud. If you don't have any ATB gauge for Cloud, quickly get his ATB gauge up because we need to limit Siphon so that we can get his limit break up while Yelena and Root are together. You don't want to split them apart because you want to do damage with finishing touch. And this will damage both Root and Yelena, which could kill Yelena, depending on where you hit Yelena and Root. I didn't manage to kill Yelena, but she had like no HP left, so all I had to do was one more attack on her, and she's dead now. So all that's left is Rude, and I got him staggered. And yeah, that's pretty much an easy fight. The hard fight is next with Rufus. Now, I only made a few changes here, so basically I'm going to put enemy skill and HP absorb on for these two materia slots that are empty. And I'm going to replace the limit siphon since we don't need it now, obviously. Because it's 1 vs 1 with chakra. Now you want to be able to use... You want to use focus thrust when Rufus backs up and tries to use a skill. Because you can jump right up to him and get him. But the first thing you want to cast is Plasma Discharge. Because this will also pressure Rufus. When you block his attacks... and you fill up an ATB bar, it can pressure him. And it'll also do more damage as well. So you're gonna find out soon. There, right there. Now I'm gonna use focus thrust and pressure him. And then I'm gonna do a combo here. Now you can do this combo I think like 4 times, maybe 5 times. 3. I think this is a 4th time right here. That barrier came up. Once that barrier comes up, yeah, I think I did it 5 times actually. Once that barrier comes up, and you hit your max hit, use Mind Blast. This will stun him, and then you'll be able to stagger him. So now we're continuing the combo again, and he's staggered. So at this point, you just want to use like Braver and whatever other abilities you can. And remember, Plasma Discharge is also doing damage to him at the same time. So yeah, we did a crap ton of damage there. I ended up playing phase 2 really badly, but, well, not really badly, it's just that I didn't have enough practice with getting the focus thrust off on him. But I came up with this plasma discharge strategy, which is really good. But you can actually kill Rufus in phase 2 really quickly if you use your limit break while he's close to his dog. I didn't end up doing it when he was close enough, so I missed some DPS on him. So he survived with like a little bit of HP. I'm gonna show you in just a second. First we counter that attack there when that dog jumps on you, Plasma Discharge goes off, then we pressure Darkstar, do the focus thrust, keep attacking him, keep the pressure on him, don't worry about Rufus, and focus thrust him again, Braver, and limit break. I think I did it too early. See, I didn't get enough DPS off. If I would have waited until Rufus got a little bit closer, and then did it, he would have been dead right here. I'm going to show you another attempt that I did, where I actually ended up finishing off Rufus and the dog with that limit break. But I'm going to show you it after I did this attempt here. So this is where I screwed up now, as you can see. Like, I should have had Rufus dead. If I could have just would have focus thrust when he used an attack, could have got him. But instead I tried to heal myself. Yeah, I was trying to play it safe. Thank God for Plasma Discharge, it's so good. Oh yeah, now we're just doing a combo here. Remember, I said you can do it like 4 or 5 times before you cap out. Yeah, focus thrust straight up to him. I didn't finish him off though. I think he was too high in the air. Okay, there he is. He's dead. He should have been dead a long time ago. Alright, so here was my other attempt that I did, where I actually finished them both off at once. You're gonna see the difference. This is where I should have had him finished off. So I Braver again, Darkstar. There's my limit break. Now you're gonna see Rufus is a little bit closer. I get more see, look, I get both of them at the same time. And do full DPS on him. There. That's where it should have ended. Once Rufus is defeated, continue with the story until we need to return to the tiny Bronco. But make sure you don't return yet. You should now have unlocked the final side quest, Can't Stop, Won't Stop. So make sure you complete this side quest first before continuing on with the rest of the story. When you've completed the quest, head back to the tiny Bronco and continue the story in chapter 13 until your first boss fight. The first boss that we will be fighting in chapter 13 is the Red Dragon. This is my equipment setup for the boss fight. We'll be using Ryufi's Brumo form on top of Aerith's ATB ward to get the party's ATB gauge up fast. Once Aerith has placed her arcane ward, simply just keep casting Blizzaga until the boss changes phases. On the boss's second phase, you'll need to recast ATB ward and arcane ward again, because the game removes them from the field. Once you have the setup going though, the boss should die extremely quick. It's best to aim for the boss's chest first, and then wings to defeat it quickly.
Is everyone okay?
Don't let up.
Go on! How you like this? Not now! Here goes! One more shot! How about you
Deal
show
with
us
that.
what you won't regret this? Permanent twist. Too bad, so sad. Try and keep up. Too bad, so sad. Permanent twist. Too bad, so sad. Try and keep up. Too bad, so sad. Permanent twist. Try and keep up. Permanent twist. Try and keep up. Too bad, so sad.
Your party for this fight is going to be Cloud, Tifa, and Barret. Here's my equipment setup. You will need to stagger the Ironclad to continue the story. Use Limit Siphoning with Cloud, and then have him use Prime Mode and Thundergun until the Ironclad uses Sharpen to pressure himself.
Let me show you how it's done.
Let's do this.
Once he's pressured, have Cloud cast Stop and use his Ascension Limit Break, and have Tifa and Barret use their Stagger increase abilities to quickly get it staggered. Once you get more ATB with Cloud, have him use Focus Thrust. You can gather up more ATB for your party members and have Cloud cast Stop one last time when it's pressured again.
It's on you.
I got this.
When Ironclad gets staggered, he will crash into the tower, which triggers the block to fall down so that you can continue the main story.
Worked out pretty good, huh?
Let's be smart.
Once Ironclad is defeated, continue with the story until you need to defeat Reno and Rude. Alright, so here we go here. We're gonna use our limit break to get both Reno and Rude as soon as we limit Siphon from Tifa here. Because remember, we're using Cloud for that. Because we have the Expedition accessory on him. So that we can use our finishing touch. I wish they had Omni Slash in this, like they did in the original. At this point in the game, you already would have had Omni Slash. Remember, finishing touch is good when they're both close to each other, but I used it anyways because I'm focusing on Reno first, as you can see. He's obviously a lot weaker than Rude because Rude is a tank, but yeah, we can't do any damage to Reno right now, so if you see this happen, stop attacking Reno and start attacking Rude. Because I could not do any more damage to Reno since he has the invincibility on, which is really stupid. I don't know why they do that, man. It's so dumb. Because now he doesn't even have the invincibility on anymore. So it's like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know why they did it in this fight. It didn't make any sense. Because they didn't even change phases. Now they change phase. I had to damage Reno one more time though, which was weird. I don't know. I really hate that though.
Back to plan A then?
Which has insignificant.
Hey, partner!
And this time, they're closer together, which is what you want to do. You want to have them both close together, both times, if possible. But you for sure want them together in the second phase. Do it immediately. Get that finishing touch on them before they split apart. And then we can stop Rude. I think. Or maybe he's immune to it, I guess. I think I was testing there. But Rude is almost staggered. Once we get him staggered, it's going to be an easy kill. So we already got rid of Reno. But like I said, you just make sure you're focusing on him first. We always save Rude for last just because he's a tank. He takes so many freaking so much damage to kill. But there we go, that's the boss fight. Once Reno and Rude are defeated, continue the story until the next boss fight with Elena and Stang. This boss fight is really easy. You just need Yuffie to use Brutal Form on Aerith's ATB ward, and also have Aerith double cast on her Arcane ward. Aerith should have Ice Magic linked up to MP Absorb, HP Absorb, and Magic Focus, and I set up Red 13 with Fire, Thunder, Magic linked up to the same materia. Elena is weak to Thunder, so have Red target her, and Sang is weak to Ice, so have Aerith target him.
So sad. Try and keep up. Caught in a twist.
I don't know whether to dodge or defend with this guy.
Concentrate.
Try and keep up. Caught in a twist. Too bad. So sad.
This is the worst.
Try and keep up. Too bad. So sad.
Lay down. With me.
Okay.
Well,
Go on. Caught in a twist. Too bad. So sad. Try and keep up. So that's it. Try and keep up. Too bad. So sad. Try and keep up. Too bad. So sad. Caught in a twist. Too bad. So sad. Feeling chilly?
Once Sang and Elena are defeated, continue the story until we needed to fight the Demon Gate. Here's my equipment setup for Demon Gate. This boss fight is really easy with Yuffie's Brutal Form, ATB Ward, and Arcane Ward. Have Aerith constantly casting Quaka, Tifa should use her Limit Break immediately, cast Mana Wall, and any magic spell that you want with her. You can also use her abilities to deal lots of physical damage instead of magic damage, since I'm using a physical build for her. You should be able to trigger the boss's second phase very quickly. In the second phase, the boss will have another Demon Gate that spawns. You will need to defeat them both to progress. Remember that you can use Yuffie's Kuraga spell to heal the entire party with Magnify on her if you need healing.
Let's finish this! Little Renata! Try and keep up! Prominent twist! Try and keep up! Big prominent
Before I show you guys my equipment and get on with the boss fight, take a look at the order my party joins at because your order is going to be different than mine. So what you need to do is take a look at what equipment setup I have for my characters and put that equipment setup on whatever character you have set up in the order that my character is set up in this battle. So, for example, I have Tifa ordered at number 1. And let's say your number 1 character happens to be Red 13. You'll view Tifa's equipment setup that I have and put that setup onto Red 13 instead because Red 13 is your number 1. So here is the order of every phase. In phase 1 and 2, it's going to be Cloud, Tifa, and Barret for me. In the third phase, it's going to be Tifa and Katesith. In the fourth phase, it's going to be Red, 13, and Barret. In the fifth phase, it's going to be Cloud and Yuffie. And finally, in the sixth phase, which is going to require a restart to get stopped back, but I'm going to explain that once we get to that point. It's going to be Cloud, Red 13, and Katesith. Now, here is my equipment setup. Alright, here we go with the fight, guys. ATB boost, Primal for Cloud. And we're gonna cast Faith right on Cloud. Because Cloud's gonna have Fire Guard. Remember, he also has HP absorb, so he's going to get his health back every time that he takes damage. Like that. I'm gonna cast Haste on Cloud. Now Cloud's really juiced up here. There's Fire Guard did over 16,000 damage with Berserk. Because we're using the Prime mode. And we're getting that Berserk effect symbol on us by using it as well. Gives us some more extra damage. We have 2 ATB bars here. You're gonna cast a quick Fire Guard right on the barrier. That'll break the barrier. Now he's pressured. Or she's pressured. Genova's a she, right? Fire Guard. Oh! Of course the boss had to go through its immunity bullshit. I'm not sure if I hit it before or after it went immune. But there's a chance that I might have wasted ATB there. And of course he grabs me. As soon as he came out of that immunity phase. Cheap ass game. Fuck. I hate that immunity phase. He didn't even switch to phase 2 yet either. He's still in phase 1. One more Fire Guard. There you go. Phase 2. Same party. Same party for phase 2. Cloud, Tifa, Barret. It's not going to change until the next phase.
Stay strong.
Of course. Take the lead.
Get that overcharge. Get Barret's. As you can see, I never staggered the boss. I tried to keep his bar up so that I could stagger it in the second phase. Because you're gonna see, we're gonna quickly get through this phase because of that. Once I stagger this boss here, in just a second. Boom. Now, we're gonna cast Stop, but don't worry, we're gonna get stopped back. If you remember, I said we're gonna restart from current phase, so once we get to phase 6. You're gonna see what I mean by that in just a second once we get there. Because we won't be able to cast Stop in phase 6. Since we used it here. But if we restart from current phase, we'll get stopped back. So the boss will be weak to stop again. Which means we'll be able to use it. We're going through an immunity phase, of course, so it's gonna take some time here. There we go, phase 3. So phase 3, Tifa and K-Sith. Tifa has a limit breakup. We're gonna use that right on the weak point. The wing. Aim for that. Because you're trying to break that wing. K-Sith has his weak point, his limit break, and we break the wings. Next phase, phase 4, Barret and Red 13. Oh, I shouldn't have used that. You can see he has the immunity phase. Oh, that is so bullshit. How the game protects their freaking bosses, man. It just takes away from the action combat, you know? But anyways, I used Limit Break there, and then with Red 13. And also, I'm gonna cure him, because pretty low health. And we're gonna Limit Siphon from Barret, because I want Red 13 to use the his Limit Break, since he has level 1 with the Howling Moon there. There we go. Phase 5. After this is phase 6, so we're gonna restart in just a second. After we get through this phase. So we're aiming for the head here.
You gotta admit, it's been awesome having me on the team, right?
Hasn't been boring.
And we're gonna, the first thing we're gonna use, it looks like, is our Limit Break, I think? Yeah, Cross Slash. I wonder if I should use Primal first, get a Berserk, and then Cross Slash? I'm not sure. It doesn't really matter because Yuffie has her Limit Break up and she finishes it off. There's Prime Mode right now I used. But yeah, Yuffie will destroy the head. Pretty sure. Either way, they're both attacking the head, so it's definitely going to get destroyed. Oh, the head's actually pretty tanky. Fire will do it. Okay, so make sure you restart from current phase. I already did that without showing it because I didn't want to go through this cutscene again on the video twice. So restart from current phase, and you're gonna go through this cutscene again. You'll have to go through it twice. And you're gonna have stop back. You're gonna be allowed to stop the boss again. So it's just about trying to find the right opportunity to do that.
Can you help with that, Cloud?
Yeah. Let's finish this. Don't overdo it.
I should be using stop very soon, actually, because once I stop that boss, I get it pressured. Yeah, here, I'm gonna use stop now. It would have been better to wait until I get pressured, but I figured I would have enough time to do this with the Pyrica. And we get it pressured now, see? Yeah, I guess it was good anyway, it was fine. Because as you can see, the boss is almost staggered now because of that. Just watch out for that attack that's following you, because that attack will damage you. Might even kill you. And watch out for this attack as well. You want to run back from that, as you can see what I'm doing. Then Fire Rig, I'll get my HP back, stagger the boss at the same time, and it's time for Sephiroth, guys. So here's my equipment setup. And for this boss fight here, you're just gonna parry and block Sephiroth's attacks, because you gotta get your ATB gauge up. That will help get your ATB gauge up, and also damage. Try to damage Sephiroth and get it up as well if you, whenever the opportunity comes. Once you get your ATB gauge, just cast Fire Gun on him. Do the same with Zack and his ATB up, and you can cast Fire Gun with Zack as well. Unless you're really hurt. If you get hurt, then just cast Kiraga on everybody. But I'm good health right now, so I'm just gonna I'm gonna cast Fire Gun with him. Get some more damage off. The good thing about the Aga magic is that it provides a window for you to do more DPS because the boss flinches. So just like some downtime before he starts attacking again. Then you can stagger him really quickly. And you should be able to finish him off at this point here. Or at least come very close to it. Bare minimum. I think I finished him off. One more. Yeah, I'm gonna use a Fire Gun. Alright, second phase, you're just gonna cast Fire Gun right at the very start. And after this little scene here, it's gonna finish him off. Now we're gonna move on to the third phase. You're gonna be climbing on top of this. Just keep climbing up right to the top. Okay, here we are. Now, for this move, use Gorgon Shield to block that. You're gonna see that it makes you immune to damage, Gorgon Shield. So you want to make sure that you do that, otherwise, if that attack hits you, you're gonna be down to 1 HP. So that's why it's very important to make sure that you cast Gorgon Shield.
You're out of luck.
And then you should be able to finish this boss off before he's able to do any decent damage to you. Just make sure you avoid that attack there. And there you go. Next phase. Now we have Tifa, Yuffie, and Kaseth in the party for this phase.
Come on, we gotta take our Bahamut.
You're gonna have to defeat Bahamut Arisen twice, because once you defeat him the first time, you have to break one of Sephiroth's wings. And then you're gonna have to break his other wing after you defeat Bahamut Arisen again. So just keep following what I'm doing here. You can see that we already almost have it staggered. Quake God's really good for this. It does so much to his pressure bar, destroys him. It's one of the best spells to use against Bahamut Arisen. Now we're gonna limit Siphon off Kaseth here. I'm gonna finish off Bahamut Arisen with her Devastation level 2 limit break. I think I save it for the wings maybe, or okay, yeah, I save it for the wings. I actually finished them off with Tifa instead. I couldn't remember how tanky the wings are, so I think that's why I used another it. Or I think I tried to defeat both wings at the same time, but I only ended up defeating one of them. Because I think if I would have defeated both wings at the same time, I don't think Bahamut Arisen would have been revived. But I'm not 100% sure about that, because I've never been able to do that. So just make sure you're parrying, blocking his attacks, casting Fire Gun, and Quake Gun with whoever has Quake Gun. But anyways, he's gonna go down really quickly. So I'll just finish him off with Tifa again, with our Unbridled Strength abilities, and then all we have left now is the wings, which is one wing left. As you can see, I was very close to defeating that last wing. I tried to defeat them both at the same time. I wonder if it's possible to do that. It might actually be possible if you plan it right. That's something I might have to test sometime if I ever take this game more serious. But anyways, you're gonna cast Fire Gun on the chest there, like I did with Zack. in this phase here. Yeah, I'm not really... I never really practiced much with Zack's abilities, so that's why I mostly just use magic with him.
Time to let loose. Here goes nothing.
I don't really like the way that Zack plays. I don't know. It just like feels weird to play him. I think I just need to get used to him.
Can't take the heat. Wow, on it. Warm-up's over.
We're almost done with this phase here. This thing will protect you from attacks from the bosses, like magical attacks, I think. Not explosive attacks like that, though. I'm pretty sure I've had that protect me from other attacks that the boss uses before.
Not feeling so hot.
Well, if you get low HP, use Kiraga.
This'll do the trick.
And whenever we get an opportunity, we're gonna cast another Fire Gun, but... Because we almost have the boss defeated. Look at that, his bar is like almost dead and I just can't get an attack off. Yeah, I think it protects you from this attack here. Or maybe it reduces damage or something. I'm not sure what that thing does, really.
You ready?
I think it might reduce damage. But anyways, once you stagger the boss, you can cast another Fire Gun to finish him off. Or you can just use together as one if you have that as well.
On it.
I think that should be enough to finish him off at this point too. Yeah, we crippled the chest. There we go. Alright, next phase. So for this phase here, you want to use Yuffie's ninjutsu based on whatever the wing's weakness is. So right now the wing has fire on, so we cast ice ninjutsu. And you want to use Red 13 and Yuffie's synergy skills to deal damage. You're gonna see me use it in just a second here. Now he switched to Ice Wing, so I'm gonna have to switch my ninjutsu. Now he switched to Thunder, so I'm gonna switch it to Wind. He switches it so fucking fast at the beginning, that's the problem. Just keep swapping to different elements. Like, chill the fuck out, bro. Like, he just switched it again, now he's on Wind. We gotta do another ninjutsu there, Lightning. You can block this, watch. Oh, I didn't block it that way, but watch, you can actually block this tornado. I'm gonna show you in just a second. You're gonna see me block it and be immune to damage. See? I blocked it. I'm pretty sure that was the tornado that I blocked. I don't know what else it would have been. Okay, I think we almost have it now. We just have this one wing left here. I wish I had more practice with Red 13 and Yuffie's synergy skill, because could have done this a lot faster if I did. But as you can see though, it's very, very effective. Does a good job. So you don't really have to be like super quick at it.
I can't take much more.
But now all we have left is this core, so we're just gonna finish it off and get to the final phase of this boss. I'm gonna limit Siphon off Barret, and we're gonna use Devastation with Yuffie. Oh, he blocked me. I tried to fucking get in there. Actually, the core's almost dead. That's weaker than I thought it would have been.
Why is it always gonna be me? Get lost! Just you watch.
I didn't even have to use the limit break. Oh wait, when he comes down I use it. I forgot about this part. That's why. Yeah, so defeat the core, and then once he comes down, use Yuki's Devastation level 2 limit break at this point.
Nothing's gonna stop us.
Let's show him
And
what
we should be able to finish him off quite easily at this point. I hate that attack, man. It brings you down to 1 HP if you're too close to him.
you need me, huh?
Devastation's still going off and doing damage. There we go. We got Barry's limit breakup as well, so we can use that, or maybe I limit siphon it. Not sure. Yeah, I limit siphon it because Devastation is stronger, right? Because it's her max limit break. So get Yuffie to do another limit break, and we got it. That's Sephiroth Reborn. Alright guys, here we go. We're gonna do the final phase now. In this one, we have Aerith with
I
us.
saw what you did back there, Cloud.
Let's cast ATB Boost and Arcane Ward.
This ain't over.
Make sure you parry block his attacks if you're up close like this. Do damage to him and then cast Fire God on the Arcane Ward. To make Sephiroth flinch around.
With me.
I'm here.
Oh, I was too slow with that. God damn it. I wish that move was faster. Like, it's a very good move, but you never really have a really good opportunity to use it often. I feel like, because of how slow it is.
It's on you.
I'm coming. One more shot. You can do
Take it over.
There should be like maybe some accessory that increases the speed of it or something. I don't know.
Shit. Let's go.
How can you want this?
We almost have him staggered. Now when he uses this,
How can you want
just make sure you bait out that tornado. Don't get too close to Aerith with it because obviously it's going to damage Aerith. And since you can only control one AI when this is happening, because you don't want to damage both the characters, right? By swapping to different AIs to run away. Anyways, we're gonna cast Fire God on this Arcane Ward here. Sephiroth is even closer to being staggered now.
Hang back.
Hey, Sephiroth!
that really sucked?
There, we got him.
Cloud.
Alright.
Aerith, you're gonna have to cast Thunderga. Cast Fire God with Cloud.
Right.
No.
And with Aerith, Thunderga. Switch back to Cloud.
Leave it to me.
We almost have him.
Keep it up.
Now, I could have finished Sephiroth off if I attacked on the Arcane Ward the first time, but I didn't. You're gonna see in just a second here. So, you want to run around like this. I ended up casting Fire God here, but I should have waited until... I think I should have waited until the Arcane Ward. Because now look, I have to get my ATB gauge up again. And I have to get 2 bars. But I'm going to show you a little trick, okay? To get to the Arcane Ward really quickly. Get that ATB boost and then dodge through that because you have iframes for dodging, right? And then use Fire God. The Arcane Ward and he's dead.